Good evening, I'm Hanomansing. Tonight, on the eve of an election, Newfoundland and Labrador suspends all in-person voting.
We have received confirmation that the outbreak in the metro area is indeed due to a COVID-19 variant of concern.
Also tonight, new rules and potential new penalties at the Canadian border.
Substantial fines going up to as much as $3,000 or even a criminal prosecution.
This case, unfortunately, is about political hatred.
Donald Trump's impeachment defense, not incitement, just politics as usual. And losing your job during the pandemic.
It's demoralizing for me right now because it's like, what am I going to do?
We hear from people living through it. This is The National. And we begin with breaking news tonight from Newfoundland and Labrador on two fronts, the virus and the election it has now thrown into chaos. Tonight, word that all in-person voting has been suspended after a growing COVID outbreak that was linked to the more contagious virus variant. Chris O'Neill-Yates is in St. John's. And Chris, 50 new cases added to the total earlier today, but that news eclipsed by just about everything that followed.
That's right, Ian. All this comes just hours before a provincial election on a Friday night. Voters and election workers had said they were too afraid to show up. The election had been postponed in 18 out of 40 districts. Now it's off in all of them. That news tonight from the Office of the Chief Electoral Officer in a statement. That statement goes on to say in-person voting will not be rescheduled. The election will now shift exclusively to voting by mail using special ballots. I urge anyone interested in voting in this election to apply for a special ballot to ensure your democratic participation. Now, that comes after another dramatic moment here tonight, confirmation that a variant of the virus is linked to this spreading outbreak.
As your Premier, I can't stress to you enough the urgent nature of this situation.
At a sudden late-night news conference, the second one today, Newfoundland and Labrador's Chief Medical Officer of Health broke the news.
That we have received confirmation that the outbreak in the metro area is indeed due to a COVID-19 variant of concern.
Specifically, the variant that raced across the UK is now on the loose in this province. Everywhere is now moving to alert level 5 for 2 weeks, limiting gatherings to 5 people, closing restaurants for in-person dining, shutting non-essential businesses. It's all increasing the fear that hit the province earlier this week.
I can't help everybody, but if you can't get out or if you're afraid to go out.
Donnie Earl has been running errands in his taxi for people who are afraid to go out.
Anybody really who needs a prescription or needs something from our local hardware store or, a loaf of bread.
This virus has torn through the youth population, starting with high school students in the Metro St. John's area. It's now moving into other parts of the province.
As we expected, we are starting to find cases outside of the metro area, spreading through the Avalon and beyond into other regions of the province.
So, Chris, a tumultuous week for people in Newfoundland and Labrador, and this election is going to drag on for a bit.
But at least after tonight, Ian, there is some clarity. People will have until Monday to apply for their special ballots, and then they will have to return those to Election NL by Monday, the 1st of March.
All right. Chris, thank you.
You're welcome.
In British Columbia, officials are reporting that province's first case of a new variant, one first identified in Nigeria.
We aren't entirely clear yet whether this variant also has increased transmissibility or causes more severe illness, but our lab team is working with their counterparts across the country and internationally to get a better understanding.
Dr. Henry says the variant was found in a young person who had traveled to Nigeria. The good news is that person is isolated. There was no known transmission. This adds to the 46 other variant cases detected so far in British Columbia. Across most of Canada, concern about variants is rising, just as total case numbers have been going down.
We need to be extra vigilant as we enter this phase of potential spread of these new variants.
The resurgence will happen really fast. So this is the time to be vigilant.
Canada's longer and deadlier second wave appears to have peaked a month ago, and not just in terms of daily new cases. Hospitalizations over a similar period have also declined sharply. And now daily COVID deaths are down about 50% from their peak. But before the second wave is even over, today some action aimed at reducing the possibility of a third. As new, more contagious virus variants spread in some provinces, people coming into Canada are being hit with tough new rules, including at land borders. David Cochran takes us through that and the more hopeful news that was delivered alongside it.
After weeks of bad news on vaccines, a dose of good news.
From Pfizer, we'll be getting the next doses sooner.
Fresh reassurance Pfizer will meet its end of March targets, plus a new agreement to accelerate spring deliveries by 3 million doses.
So that we will receive 10.8 million doses of Pfizer between April and June, and all of our remaining doses of Pfizer in Q3 before the end of September.
But it's only February, and right now vaccines are being rationed while COVID variants spread.
But Canada is still in a delicate stage of our fight with COVID-19.
And so the border will get thicker for non-essential travel. Starting February 15th, anyone entering Canada by land will need proof of a negative test or risk consequences.
There may be substantial fines going up to as much as $3,000 or even a criminal prosecution for those who fail to produce proof of a valid COVID-19 molecular test.
A week later, on February 22nd, it gets tougher still. Travelers will have to submit a quarantine plan prior to crossing the border by land. They will also have to get a second mandatory test on arrival, then a third test near the end of the 14-day quarantine.
So we would urge you, cancel your vacation plans, stay home.
But if you won't, the list goes on. International air travelers will also face new rules on the 22nd. There's the additional mandatory testing measures like at land crossings and an expensive quarantine in a hotel.
Travelers will be required to stay at their reserved hotel for up to 3 nights at their own cost while they await the results of their arrival tests.
There is no mandatory hotel quarantine at land borders because it would be impossible to enforce. All international flights are being funneled to just 4 airports with hotels nearby. But the Canada-U.S. border has 117 points of entry, some of them hundreds of kilometers away from a hotel. David Cochran, CBC News, Ottawa.
Even with variant cases predicted to rise, Ontario announced that it's relaxing restrictions across much of the province starting next week. Thomas Dagla has the reaction from experts and from people dealing directly with the consequences.
Whitby, Ontario. From Toronto, it's just a short drive. But in terms of restrictions, soon it will feel a world away. Take John Allen's 2 restaurants. Off limits to guests for weeks. By next Tuesday, they'll welcome 10 diners upstairs and another 10 downstairs.
Honestly, if we didn't see what we just heard today about being able to open up at Red, although small, I think the picture looks a lot more bleak moving into the next month.
Ontario is reintroducing color-coded zones, keeping the hardest-hit regions, including Toronto and Peel, shut down, while loosening restrictions to varying degrees across most of the province.
There's never going to be zero risk. And that's why I think that now's as good a time as any to start to slowly open things up, keep a very good monitor on what's happening.
Ontario's own modeling, though, projects a rise in cases later this month, then an increase in intensive care admissions from the contagious virus variant first found in England.
The Premier, I don't know if he grasps what's going on with health professionals, that they cannot handle it anymore.
Ontario based its modeling on what happened in Britain. When that B117 variant spread, transmission tripled, pushing hospitals to the brink.
Any place that is relaxing restrictions as these variants are becoming more prevalent is at risk of having that exact same scenario play out.
The Premier highlighted Ontario's testing while forging ahead with reopening.
We're opening up cautiously. It's not a wide open, rah, 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 let's go party.
Back in Whitby, staff's been rehired and the grills fired up. hoping a third wave of infections doesn't lead to yet another lockdown.
There's still an impetus to at least try and see how we can do this. The variant is going to take over the dominant strain one way or another.
Thomas, as you mentioned, Ontario's own modeling predicts cases will rise later this month. So what is the province basing this reopening plan on?
The province says it's been looking at 3 indicators: a slower transmission of the virus, improved hospital capacity, and a better ability to stop those outbreaks. Now, keep in mind, the case counts in this province have been steadily decreasing. That's not the concern here. It is the fact that that B117 variant, first found in the UK, highly transmissible, is expected to become the dominant strain here soon. The question is, will the third wave from that variant be worse than the first one? There is some hope, Ian, that the vaccinations, very targeted, that have already been carried out, could make a difference.
All right, Thomas, thank you.
You're welcome.
Manitobans have also kicked off their long weekend with relaxed restrictions, but officials are warning that if the rules aren't followed, things could quickly change.
If we go back to the way we were interacting in October, there's no reason to believe we won't be back in November and December numbers.
Today, restaurants welcomed customers inside for the first time in months, but can't go over 25% capacity and can only serve people in household groups. Gyms, museums, and places of worship can also reopen with limited capacity. In Saskatchewan today, the COVID-19 death toll reached 350, most of those people dying in just the past 6 weeks. Tonight, a woman tells Bonnie Allen about her mother's death from COVID-19 and blames it on a system pushed too far, even as healthcare workers demand priority access to vaccines.
Carla Boisvert had just begun to grieve her mother's death when she saw it added to the province's death toll.
That's really what hit me when I read that a person in their 60s died in the Saskatoon zone. And I was like, that's my mom. And she had no name. She was just a number.
Her name was Patricia Lingle. Her death, says Boisvert, an indicator of strain on the healthcare system. Lingle was dying of cancer, but still able to stay in her own home with nursing support until staffing shortages interrupted her care.
If a nurse gets exposed, then they have to be on the 2-week quarantine. So there was some days where no one could come. And that, in my mom's case, literally meant she was sitting in her own filth.
So Lingle had to go to a Saskatoon hospital, and that's where she was exposed to the virus. The grandmother died from COVID-19 within days.
This is the ripple effect.
Now the province's Medical Association and Nurses Union are crying foul at Saskatchewan's vaccination rollout plan. This week, the plan was adjusted to only prioritize healthcare workers who work in long-term care homes or directly treat or test COVID-19 patients. The rest will get the vaccine in order of age, oldest to youngest, like most everyone else.
It's beyond logic why they would think that this reimagining of the vaccination program is one that would keep health workers across this province safe.
Premier Scott Moe blames a short supply of vaccine. He says health officials will re-examine the decision, but
the stark reality of the situation is that elderly people tend to have more serious outcomes from COVID-19.
She was always someone who wanted to help other people.
Boisvert wants to honor her mother, a retired nurse, by reminding people that we can all do our part to relieve pressure on the system. Bonnie Allen, CBC News, Regina.
Until vaccines deliver some level of herd immunity in Canada, physical distancing remains the most potent weapon against the virus. But Christine Burak shows us how the isolation and apprehension that comes with it is also affecting physical health.
My biggest fear is that the vaccine will not be the solution.
Most of us are feeling it. After nearly a year of social distancing, Natasha Vasilevich just feels stressed.
My new normal is it's pretty lonely and it's repetitive. Do the same thing every day.
She's not sleeping well either, and research suggests it could be the result of lockdowns. An Italian study looking at the effects of quarantine due to COVID-19 found nearly 60% of those surveyed reported poor sleep quality, and more than 30% felt high anxiety.
If we're not sleeping, we definitely have a heightened sense of anxiety. We have a heightened sense of irritability.
Experts say when we're feeling isolated and alone, our brain goes into survival mode. It signals the body to make cortisol, a stress hormone that keeps us alert and ready for threats. Our sleep also becomes lighter to protect ourselves at night.
For short periods of time, those stress responses help us survive. But if we feel alone for too long, they can lead to high blood pressure, mood swings, and fatigue. Doctors insist, even if it's virtual or by phone, join a club or talk to at least one person you can be vulnerable with.
You'd be surprised how many people have things in common with what they're dealing with around the pandemic. And that support helps big.
Support is key, but our brain would also relax if we knew when this pandemic might end.
I heard the phrase variant of greater concern. I thought, oh no.
Big indoor parties and travel may take longer, but experts say people can likely come together once the majority of Canadians are vaccinated.
If we can do that by September, then by Christmas, we'll be enjoying that impact.
Until then, doctors say do your best to live in the moment.
I'm so bored.
You're so bored? Yeah, I hear ya.
Vasilovich adds knowing others are also feeling stressed does make her feel less alone. Christine Birak, CBC News, Toronto.
Air Canada says 2020 was the bleakest year in the history of commercial aviation. Those comments from the airline's CEO after the company posted a loss of more than $1 billion in the final 3 months of last year. Air Canada's total 2020 losses amounted to $4.6 billion. The airline, however, says it is optimistic as talks with the federal government continue about a bailout package for the sector. The aviation industry isn't alone in its pandemic struggles. Thousands across the country have lost their jobs to COVID-19, and in 15 minutes I'll speak to two of them and hear how they're coping with being laid off during these difficult times. Turning to Washington now, where arguments in Donald Trump's impeachment trial are over. His defense team rested its case just hours after it began today. The strategy, narrow, focused, and politically charged. Susan Ormiston takes us through the day.
The president in any way
Trump's lawyers had 16 hours to defend him. They took under 3.
Is a preposterous and monstrous lie.
Arguing that his words on January 6th
We fight like hell.
Were just political rhetoric, same as Democrats.
And we need to fight that fight.
We have been fighting.
It is a fight, and it is a fight born out of patriotism.
That video ran 11 minutes, parts of it repeated 3 times. Not 1 minute today of the actual attack, for which Trump is on trial for inciting. Instead, a compilation of aggressive utterances from Democrats.
You got to be ready to throw a punch.
Donald Trump, I think you need to go back and punch him in the face.
This case, unfortunately, is about political hatred.
Trump has stayed out of sight this week in Florida, but his influence keenly felt today as lawyers reintroduce campaign themes like Trump's law and order response to last summer's protests.
The president clearly deplores rioters and political violence.
That touched off a personal rebuke from a prosecution lawyer.
Playing clip after clip of black women talking about fighting for a cause or an issue or a policy. It was not lost on me as so many of them were people of color.
Tensions flaring between the law and politics.
This is about the most miserable experience I've had down here in Washington, D.C.
You know, my counsel said before, this has been my worst experience in Washington, and for that I guess we're sorry, but man, you should have been here on January 6th.
But what Republican senators needed today, they got.
You need to keep focused on what is the law and how do we apply it to this set of facts.
A cover to acquit Donald Trump, which they likely will.
And there were no words of incitement of any kind.
The counsel's time is expired.
With this rapid trial, there could be a vote tomorrow.
So, Susan, why was Trump's defense team so quick to finish?
Well, there were no witnesses so far, no evidence tested, which means key questions like what was Trump doing during the riots and why he didn't call them down immediately remain unanswered. But really, Ian, hours of vivid imagery this week of the riots, reminding Americans of Trump's legacy. Republicans want to move on with confidence that there's still little incentive to publicly punish the former president, at least not for now.
All right, Susan, thank you. Coming up, after public pressure, Justin Timberlake apologizes.
Don't have to say what you did. I already know.
The pop star reckons with his past. Plus, the world brings in the year of the ox as it faces another year fighting the pandemic. But first, 21 Canadian directors take to the small screen to express a vision for Black artists.
Don't impress a man talking about a revolution.
We're back in 2.
I'm here to tell you that the Black NBA and WNBA players, joined by a contingent of non-Black players and allies, will work for this league no more. We're leaving.
She's imagining a fresh new world of influence and power. That's one result of 21 Black Futures, a series of one-person plays commissioned by Obsidian Theatre and presented by CBC Arts. Starting tonight, CBC Gem is releasing 7 of these each Friday. Some of the artists involved told Eli Glasner what they hope to accomplish.
Does anything ever change, actually?
21 Black Futures is a series of monologues exploring the future of being Black.
Is this where you had me?
Theater director Mombi Tandiaba Otu says the death of George Floyd and the protests that followed had her looking forward.
Just as a way to heal, as a way to imagine something different beyond the intensity of the moment that we were in.
She recruited 21 of Canada's best Black directors, playwrights, and actors.
Do I put on my professional work voice? Or how I spit on the Black voice?
Actor Lovell Adams Gray stars in the piece The Death News, a near-future scenario where a young man eulogizes himself. It left him thinking of who tells Black stories.
And how important it is to, bring in the broader scope of the full picture.
As a Black actor, he says the industry is improving.
Honestly, the frustration now that comes is like, God damn, that happened already.
But in some parts of Canada, opportunity lags behind, such as in Calgary, where Black, Indigenous, and actors of color are at a disadvantage.
White artists are overrepresented in the industry. And there's even an income disparity between those artists because BIPOC artists are not getting leading roles.
While many arts organizations are now taking a more inclusive approach, there are fears it's a fad.
That once we get back to needing to fill those houses and wanting to check, hit those box office records, we may return to old patterns.
This is great, though.
But Lovell says there's no going back. He points to the acclaim around the new film Judas and the Black Messiah and BBC's Small Axe series.
It's a testament to what we're craving for. We're craving for truthful, passionate, deep art.
A vision of a future worth waiting for. Eli Glasner, CBC News, Toronto.
Amid growing backlash on social media, Justin Timberlake issued an apology to Britney Spears today after a new documentary led to criticism of how he treated her during and after their relationship. Following their breakup in the early 2000s, Timberlake accused Spears of cheating and made it public by hiring a Britney lookalike to appear in the video for a hit single. In a lengthy Instagram post, Timberlake said he was deeply sorry and wanted to take accountability. He also apologized to Janet Jackson after failing to support her over their controversial Super Bowl performance in 2004. The post follows the New York Times documentary highlighting Britney's battle over her conservatorship. This week, a judge blocked her father's petition to be in sole control of her estate. Coming up, the future of travel may include a new passport.
I think lots of people will use it, and for the world economy, it will be good.
Denmark envisions a new normal after vaccines. But first,
it was the first time in my life that I've ever felt disposable.
The shock of losing your job. I'll speak to 2 people laid off in struggling industries. Canadians continue to suffer in many ways during this pandemic, including losing jobs. The stories and impact different from person to person.
I knew that getting laid off was hard, but wow, I did not know how hard that was. I was working as a nail technician when COVID hit. It was the first time in my life that I've ever felt disposable.
Even with 15 years equipment operating experience, I've applied for all sorts of equipment jobs and I can't get one.
Just this week, two big industries took another hit. Air Canada cut an additional 1,500 jobs, and Bell Media laid off at least 210 employees. In some cases, Bell, without warning, fired the entire staff at some of their stations.
As of today, CKST will no longer be a sports talk radio station.
It is shocking to lose a job you love at any time, but imagine that happening during the stress and uncertainty of a pandemic. We wanted to hear a couple of those stories firsthand. Yvette Nakamoto was laid off this week as a flight attendant after 19 years with Air Canada. And Jeff Patterson, a former Canucks reporter at TSN 1040 Radio here in Vancouver, has 30 years in the business. He was also laid off this week. And welcome to both of you.
Thanks,
Thank you for having me.
Yvette, let me start with you. What was it like as a flight attendant to lose your job? Here we are 11 months into this pandemic.
I think this is my second time. So I was laid off in June and then I went back in October. And then I just found out again that I was going to be laid off. So it's demoralizing for me right now because it's like, what am I going to do, right? Like you're thinking you're going back to work, but then you're crushed again. So for me, it's been really, really hard.
And you had, as you say, continued to work during the pandemic. And at what point did you start to think, you know what, I may be losing my job for a second time?
I started realizing it just after January. So right after all of the travel for Christmas break, when that was all coming out, I kind of felt like something was up because you could hear the stories of the travel industry putting more restrictions on people traveling. And so that's when I kind of felt that it was coming again. And, you know, you always pray, you always have hope. And then it was, when the news came out, it was kind of like, yeah, here we go.
So Jeff, Yvette could sort of see something was likely coming. You know, they knew in the travel industry there were problems. But I know a lot of your colleagues in sports radio were blindsided. Take us back to the moment when you found out you were losing your job.
Yeah, it's been a difficult week. I'm not going to lie to you. And I think part of the difficulty is it hurts personally to lose a job that I'd worked hard to get and absolutely loved. I mean, this truly was a dream job. I was covering hockey. In the last 3 years, I'd been traveling around the National Hockey League and going from city to city to cover the Vancouver Canucks. It really doesn't get a whole lot better than that. I think the sadness, though, is that the act was so swift and so sudden. And we've come this far through the pandemic, months and months without sports, and so many talented pros and veterans of the industry had just grinded through without sports content. Well, we had hockey back finally, and that seemed like, all right, we're on the right track. And the Super Bowl recently, and you know, all these things to finally talk about. And it just 15 minutes notice, and they took the legs out from under us, and nobody saw it coming. 15 minutes notice for people who haven't been following this story across the country, and that happened at a bunch of other radio stations as well. Did you have a chance to, Jeff, to talk to other people or on the phone, text, or in person, other fellow employees? Well, I certainly have talked to all of them now, and I think we all share the same sentiment that the station maybe had never sounded better. These are quality humans and really good people at what they do, and they had left their mark in this market, and we had ratings and we had loyal clients, and as I said, hockey was back, and so there was some real interest in the product.
Yeah, and to your point, Jeff, I mean, radio creates a community. Doesn't matter what the station is or where it is, and so we saw so many listeners across the country posting how they felt about their station shutting down, and want to play a couple of clips right now from that.
I'm not gonna lie, today sucked. The best sports program, sports radio in Vancouver is no more.
The last 2 days, I feel that I have been in a loss. A lot of these people who lost their jobs were basically friends for me.
So Jeff, we can tell, I mean, the passion you have for the business and the passion listeners have for their radio stations. Yvette, let's talk about passion for jobs. I mean, basically everybody I've ever talked to who works in the aviation industry, they love the travel, they love the excitement. What is the industry like for you?
I think for me, the job was doing something different every day. So you go to work, you get to meet different people, either from business or from just going on vacation, doing people going for reunions. And then you're working with them, like all these different friends at all times. Like you meet them maybe once in your life, but it feels like you're going, you know, to your job, and it's not a job. It's actually, it's your life, right?
Yeah.
So it's been really hard. Like we've had people who have lost their job that they've been there for 32 years. So you don't work at a profession for 32 years and not like it, right?
Yeah.
So, and now they don't have a job, and it's going to be hard for a lot of people.
We have less than a minute, so quick 30 seconds to each of you. Yvette, beginning with you. Are you going to get a job back in the industry? What's next for you, do you think?
Well, there's hope, right? Like you think there's going to be hope. Right now, I've applied to school. I'm going to go back to school at the age of 53. And there's no end to this. Like, where's the end? What's the plan? How are we going to get our jobs back? That's not up to me to make that decision. It's the government. The government has to have a plan to get us back to work.
And Jeff, 30 seconds. Yeah. And what about the future? I mean, we don't even know the future of sports radio. What about your future in broadcasting?
Yeah, it's a great question, Ian. Do you have a hockey club that needs covering? I don't know. I mean, I'll explore the digital options. That's the future, I guess. But I've got a family to support, and trying to replicate the income that I was making, it's just such a Wild West frontier out there in the digital space. And some people are succeeding, but there's a lot of clutter out there, and it's about rising above. So I'll explore my options, but at the same time, maybe I'll step back, and perhaps it's time to apply my skills in a different direction.
Well, Jeff, as a longtime listener, I know you have huge skills in Yvette. It's been fantastic to listen to you and the enthusiasm you two would bring to your job. And thank you both for, on a difficult week, speaking to us about what you went through. Thanks.
Thanks, Ian.
Thanks for having us.
It was a vaccine many countries didn't trust, but it's proving to be a success.
This is one completely unvarnished, unmitigated win that they can point to right now.
Kremlin's Sputnik V and the countries who have bought in. Plus, the year of the ox arrives, but the pandemic remains. Today, Hungary became the first EU country to use Russia's once ridiculed Sputnik V vaccine. Russia has now received international orders for up to 1 billion doses. This is a huge PR victory for Vladimir Putin and Russian science. But as Chris Brown explains, many nations are staying away from it.
The coronavirus vaccine Sputnik V has given Russia the kind of scientific breakthrough it hasn't seen since Soviet times. This clinic is in the fancy shopping mall on Moscow's Red Square. Maria Anakina and her friend just got their second dose, along with a free ice cream. She says her friends in Canada are jealous.
They would like also to make vaccine. As I understand, it's not time for them yet to make vaccine in Canada.
Sputnik V is turning out to be a commercial and political triumph for Russia too. With its effectiveness now validated by the medical journal The Lancet, countries from South America to the Middle East and Asia are cutting deals to either buy it or produce it themselves. In places such as the Palestinian territories, Russia's vaccine is now seen as a way out of the pandemic.
We are happy we took it.
This week, they were vaccinating doctors and frontline workers at a hospital in Ramallah.
There's so many trials, so many research to get this vaccine, and we respect this effort.
In fact, Russia jumped the gun and authorized Sputnik V long before there were successful stage 3 trial results to report, and exaggerated its effectiveness based on what was known. But that doesn't seem to matter now.
We know Russia is an advanced country. Russia has its
a long hand in the research and in the clinical fields.
It makes good sense to buy more Sputnik V, says a top health official.
When we speak about Pfizer or Moderna, it's more than a half less cost, yes.
There's been a U-turn in attitudes towards the Sputnik V.
Russian state media went into gratification overdrive as the European Union now too considers approving Sputnik in what political scientist and global health expert Judy Twigg calls a soft power win.
The Kremlin is having a whole lot of challenges in other areas right now, but this is one completely unvarnished, unmitigated win that they can point to right now.
Still, whatever the merits of Russia's vaccine may be, for some countries, accepting it remains politically toxic. The Prime Minister of Lithuania, Russia's tiny neighbor, tweeted that President Vladimir Putin is using Russia's vaccine as a hybrid weapon to divide and rule. And Ukraine, one of Europe's poorest countries with few vaccine options, has nonetheless banned Sputnik V outright. Ukraine's health minister told us those countries talking about using Sputnik V did not have territory taken from them by Russia, nor have thousands killed by Russia, referring to the 7-year-long Russian-fueled war in the country's east. Ukraine continues to be overwhelmed by COVID, but IT worker Leonid Koloda says nothing is worth using a Russian vaccine.
If it, in the end, only one Sputnik V, it's one of the world vaccine, I don't bother.
Judith Twigg argues Western nations can't afford to let Russia fill a vaccine vacuum with Sputnik.
Is the United States and the Western world have to get much better very quickly at presenting an alternative.
One of the ironies of Sputnik V is that it may, in fact, be more popular outside of Russia than at home. There's still a huge amount of vaccine hesitancy here, even with the promise of a free ice cream. Chris Brown, CBC News, Moscow.
Some European countries are now talking about a vaccine passport, digital documentation showing that you've had the shot. Renee Filipponi tells us about Denmark's plan to try and get life back to normal for people faster.
It's already a vaccination leader in Europe, and now Denmark is one of the first to promise a digital vaccine passport. For these frontline workers, that could mean more freedom.
I think lots of people will use it, and for the world economy, it will be good, so we can move on.
It's a push to get life back to normal, the potential to open up travel, restaurants, even concerts for those who have been vaccinated.
It's an app that you can download.
IBM is pitching its technology, an app using a QR code that when scanned gives COVID information, including test results and vaccine status.
The more countries that will connect to a platform where this information can be shared, the more valuable the platform gets. But we need to start somewhere.
Concerns have been raised about privacy and that people who can't get a vaccine would be unable to return to normal life.
The drive here in Denmark mostly comes from business life and politicians.
This virologist also has public health concerns, not only because the vaccine doesn't give 100% immunity, but because of mutations.
There are these variants, and just a single introduction could be sufficient to cause serious harm to the Danish society. So I don't see that the passport can work on its own.
But for businesses, it can't come soon enough. The owner of this hot dog shop says he would happily check customers' passports if there were no restrictions at all.
Corona pandemic is very bad for business, for my business and for Denmark. We bleeding every day.
But for now, it's just a promise, then on detail, that the Danish government says should be up and running by the summer. Renee Filipponi, CBC News, London.
Coming up, the world marks the year of the ox. But the Lunar New Year comes with little fanfare this time around. How Canadians are celebrating. Plus,
I am tired that every Black History Month, when I go to write a poem, I have new material to talk about.
a spoken word artist reflects on Black History Month in 2021. Stay with us. From Taipei to Tibet, Beijing and beyond, Lunar New Year celebrations were a little quieter this year across Asia as the pandemic prevents public gatherings and big family get-togethers. Here at home, too, the Year of the Ox isn't being ushered in with the usual festivities. But as Tanya Fletcher tells us, Canadians aren't letting COVID stop the spirit of celebration.
The sights and sounds of Vancouver's Lunar New Year parade are unmistakable. But this year, gone are the tens of thousands of spectators. Now, the streets are quiet.
Anything else?
Buttercream coconut.
Okay.
Newtown Bakery has been a Chinatown staple for more than 4 decades. The parade has always drawn a flood of customers here. Today, it's more like a trickle.
During the parade, we just work crazy, jam with people. The changes is, again, only the locals.
A few blocks away, this should be the busiest day of the year at Vancouver's famed Chinese Gardens.
Normally, we have about 400 to 500 people coming through here.
This year, though, they're closed to the public. No dragon dances, but still some decorations, a bid to stay positive. It is the Year of the Ox, symbolizing resilience and strength, fitting in the times of COVID.
It couldn't be more perfect, I tell you. It's resilience, it's strong, we are going to bounce back.
That optimism is echoed all the way over in the suburb of New Westminster, where one thought united a neighborhood.
How do we figure out how to find community and find ways to get out of that isolation?
Elaine Sue then circulated a letter to dozens of neighbors asking if they'd be willing to put up some decorations.
I thought maybe like a handful of people would be interested, and actually we've had, I would say, over half the houses, over 2/3 of the houses are decorated now.
The biggest highlight has been strolling the sidewalks with her son.
Red lantern.
They even made a scavenger hunt for all the neighborhood kids.
And I've had parents reach out to me like, how can we do this for Diwali? I'd love to do this for Diwali. How can I support your culture? What can we do together?
New traditions sparked by a pandemic, ones they hope will continue even when times are back to normal. Tanya Fletcher, CBC News, Vancouver.
Earlier in the program, we introduced you to 21 Black Futures, a series of monologues, and there's another initiative involving a Toronto-based artist.
People would social distance to the other side of the street before coronavirus was the excuse.
A spoken word poet is trying to capture the Black Canadian experience and call in supporters. That's next.
For the moment we are born, we are given the part-time job as a warrior.
This performance was created to reflect what Black Canadians face every day, not just during Black History Month. The creator, Akil Mackenzie, wrote the poem Historians after the death of George Floyd last May. A group of Toronto area artists turned his words into a powerful video, and that is tonight's moment.
Part-time warriors, but full-time historians. Because the names of our deceased brothers, fathers, sons, cousins, uncles, neighbors.
It starts off very hard and aggressive, and it's look at all these things that are happening. But it ends on a message of hope because it's saying, look at these things that happen, but look at how we can still stand. Look at how we can still shine bright through this darkness. Black is beautiful, Black is powerful. And when we all push for a common goal, moving mountains.
We are historians. And the job description is Black.
We are in a time today in which we've seen the most diversity of support with what is happening right now with Black issues that we've ever seen thus far. So this is our push for hope, because people can be tired, especially coming into 2021 now with Black History Month. We're sitting down, it's like, do we want to keep going? We should, and we need to, because we're so close to the precipice of change, right? Yeah.
So motivated by the politics of 2021, but also limited by the other big story of 2021, and that was the pandemic. You'll notice in that video, you can never see more than 3 people at one time. And Akil said it's kind of ironic because this video is about unity and about bringing people together, but because of pandemic shooting rules, they couldn't have many people in the room at any particular time. Still, very powerful video, as you saw in those excerpts. That is the National for February the 12th. I hope you can join me on Sunday for Cross Country Checkup on CBC Radio 1. It's live starting at 4 Eastern Time, 1 Pacific, and then later on Sunday evening back here on the National. Good night.